Namaskar. Welcome to each and everyone to Nalanda Webshala. And today, to enlighten us, we have the pioneering person who introduced dance education at the university level, none other than Padma Bhushan Dr. Srimati Kanak Reddy. I welcome ma'am. Please enlighten us with your thoughts and your inputs for us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, enjoy.
My friends and students, it's such a pleasure to be invited to speak about what one has done, and especially for Nalanda. Because I started my work at Nalanda, I was trained as a classical dancer, and also in a very, very difficult dance style, Kathakali. I majored in it. At the same time, I continued my education also and became a lawyer. But all the time, there was something that was going on over here. I don't want to practice law. I did international law. I went to England. I scored highest marks there. And even then, there was something here which said, no, I want to dance. So when I came back, the question was put to me, what are you going to do now? You've got a very fabulous degree from Manchester University, England. I could say nothing. It's only then that I said that, look, I want to my own family, look, I want to dance and I shall do something that is beautiful for dance. Because there was something that was developing within me. I had been introduced to the theoretical aspect of what is Indian classical dance. There are so many interpretations of this beautiful word, dance. You can say nritya, you can say whatever you want to say. But what does it mean and what does it entail? Where does it come from? How did it grow? All these questions were absolutely flooding my mind. And that is how I started a very serious study of dance with the blessings and encouragement of my entire family. And I unearthed a treasure trove, something which is so deep, you can't know the bottom of that. It's such a tremendous storehouse of knowledge. What is this knowledge? And that is where I started searching. And I went to great scholars. My own Guru Karunakar Panikar was still alive. And everyone was pointing to one direction, Natya Shastra. What is the Natya Shastra? I said, but I don't want to do Natya. I do Nartana, Nritya. So everyone said, no, in the Indian ambience, in the Indian culture, dance is included in Natya. Natya you can interpret as theatre, whatever way you want to. And that is where the theory comes from. What is this theory? And who wrote it? Who formulated it? When was it? So I went deep into the whole thing, tried to find out when was it formulated? How was it formulated? And I came across this greatest book, a book which all of us, all the performing artists all over the world should know. That is Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra is so great, so beautiful. It is a Shastra. It is a science of theatre. You will ask me, theatre? Then Kanakji, you are a dancer. Yes, I'm a dancer, but I mount the stage. It gives you a tremendous definition of what the stage ought to be, what your mental condition ought to be, if you wanted to emote. And I went on dwelling deep into this great, great, great book. And that is where I understood it is so pertinent for us dancers today, in today's ambience, to know and understand what is the Natya Shastra. It's written in Sanskrit. You go out in the market and you will see a lot of translations in many, many languages. It can be in English. English is of course universally read, but also in Hindi and so many regional languages. I came across Natya Shastra translations even in Gujarati, which is my mother tongue. I saw them in Malayalam, a language in which I dance usually, and it is the Natya Shastra, Somebody will say Natya Shastra. But yes, it is a Shastra. What is a Shastra? How do you say Shastra? Shastra is a science. It is not hit and done. It doesn't say, oh, if you do this, like this, and this is going to happen. Okay, go ahead. It's not that at all. It is a Shastra. It's a science. And as you learn all the sciences in your regular academic courses, you need to learn this science. You need to learn this science in order to become a good performer. And you will say that, Kamaji, you're a dancer. This is Natya Shastra. But in Indian ambience, Natya includes Nritya and Nritya. That is both the types of dancing. And that is why Natya Shastra is an all-enveloping, beautiful concept which we must study and we must learn. When I started studying, I said, where do I go? Who is going to tell me what it is? Because by that time, my guru had passed away. He had told me in his own broken Hindi, तुम नाट्य शास्त्र पढ़ो, नाट्य शास्त्र पढ़ेगा तो अच्छा डांस करेगा, नहीं नहीं कर सकेगा, और अभिनयम करने का है ना तो नाट्य शास्त्र पढ़ो. This is something which hit me, hit my psyche, my conscience. So I want to study Natya Shastra. I went searching for a teacher, and somebody told me, I used to live in Dadar in those days, and there was one very, very fine person, an old gentleman, and he was a Maharashtrian, and as he used to work with the government of Maharashtra, but his love and passion were Sanskritic studies. So people told me, go to him, he'll tell you what is the Natya Shastra. I went to him, bowed down to him, and I said, Guruji, will you please teach me Natya Shastra? And in Marathi, he asks me, why do you want to learn the Natya Shastra? Oh yes, I know you are Kanak Rede, and you dance. I said, Guruji, if I want to dance, I am a dancer. I must know from where does it emanate. My training in law in England, that is international law, helped me a lot to hone my mind. I have learned there in England how to sift good from bad, how to sift that which is pertinent and that which is not pertinent, you may discard it. All these things I learned in England. So you will say, Kanakji, what is the connection between law and dance? Both of them are sciences. I learned international law. That was a science. And my passion is classical Indian dance. And that is where I have gone deep and deep and deep. And what does it tell me? It tells me everything about my body. What is my body? What are the various parts of my face? So it distinguishes. He says that the whole body is going to emote. Your entire body will have to emote. And then he says that with that, your face will emote. And that is called Mukhaja Abhinaya. The Abhinaya, the act of conveying feelings, moods, bhavas, as we call them. All this is given in the Natya Shastra. And it starts with saying, this is your body. All of you who want to dance, all of you who want to act. He says act, but I have sifted it out and I have taken out those things which are very, very important for dance. And what is it? What is it that we do? I took up the items that my guru had taught me, and I started thinking about that. What is this item? What does this item mean? And I learned one very beautiful item from my guru, and that is Gandhari. Gandhari is the Kaurava's mother, and Gandhari's life. Now that was, I had a dear friend, a very, very fantastic Malayalam poet, late Shri Kavalam Narayana Panikar. And I told Kavalam, I said, Kavalam, look at these beautiful, beautiful characters. Why can't we present them on the stage? In the Natya Shastric tradition, he said, Kanak, if you want to present them on the stage, then you know it will not be really art. He said, yes, I understand. It will not be art. so that I want to present it in the form of an art. What is the art then? So I started thinking, and that is where I came across this very, very, very pertinent, deep down feeling, and that is that dance is also life. Natya, according to Bharata, is life. And he says that, what is Natya? What is it? And there is a great, great, beautiful couplet, a shloka, and he says, Yoyam swabhava lokasya sukha dukkha samanvitaha sa anga adi abhinaya upetaha natyamittya vidhiyate. So he says that is that which is yoyam swabhava lokasya. All the people, not me, not you, not X, not Y, not Z. Yoyam, that which is swabhava. Swabhava is nature. That is swabhava, that which you are born with. Swabhava, lokasya, all the people. Sukha dukkha samanvita, in which sukhas and dukkha's, joys and sorrows, they are all together. Sukha dukkha samanvita, sa, that, anga adi abhinaya upetaha, and that which is manifested on the anga, angika, and adi. There are so many abhinayas, vachika, aharya. So, all these abhinayas, upetaha, it is created. Natya nitya vidhiyate, that is Natya. What a fantastic storehouse. And I started picking up things from my life, from what I learned under Guruji, Karunakar Panikkar. And he also, in his broken Hindi, used to say this only. When you go on the stage, I'm telling you in a better Hindi, his Hindi is to be corrected, that जब तुम स्टेज पे जाते हो, तो तुम क्या करते हो? तुम, he used to call me Kanakam. तुम कनकम नहीं है उधर, नहीं है उधर. गुरुजी फिर मैं क्या हूँ? मैं स्टेज पे जाती हूँ, मैं कॉस्ट्यूम पहनती हूँ, वो सब करोगे, पर तुम कनकम नहीं. तो मैं कौन? तुम जो शास्त्रम करेगा, तुम जो कैरेक्टर करेगा ना, वही तुम है. तुम द्रौपदी करो तो तुम द्रौपदी है. Guruji, where was she? She was 5,000 years ago, maybe. How do I know? That question you do not ask. You ought to know. It is with my deep studies. I talk to people, I took guidance from people, and I said that look, Draupadi, the character of Draupadi, or Kubja, the hunchbacked devotee, all these characters are what are they? They are prototypes. They would affect me, you, everybody in the world, but at the artistic level. This is the greatness of Indian art and Indian art philosophy and Indian art practice. So that I said, yes, I can understand that. And so, Kubja, who is Kubja? Let me tell you that small little story. She's the hunchback devotee. She's the hunchback woman. And what was her condition? She had to carry huge pots, heavy pots, metal pots, full of chandana paste, and take the paste to the king's house, Kamsa's house, and there anoint his body with the chandana paste. You can imagine what must be happening to the poor woman. And this is Kubja's life. So I requested Kavalam Panikkar. He is a fantastic poet. But there was this poem, and there is one very big, very great Oriya poet, Dr. Sitakant Mahapatra. And Sitakant Mahapatra was a very big government official, and he used to write these fantastic poems. So I went to Sitakant ji, that is Sitakant ji, आपकी जो poetry बहुत ही सुंदर है. करो तुम करो कनक तुम करो. ठीक है, मैं कर सकती हूँ, मुझे पूजा बहुत पसंद है, लेकिन मैं एक मोहिनी आट्टम डांसर हूँ और मैंने ऐसा तय किया है, मैं इधर उधर केवल संस्कृत या तो मलयालम में नृत्य करूँगी. तो करो तुम क्या करोगे? आप तो कवलम नारायण पणिकर को पहचानते हैं ना? हाँ, मैं पहचानता हूँ. आपके मित्र हैं. उनको कहूँ मैं मलयालम में लिखने के लिए, "You have my blessings, Kanak. Go ahead and do that." And was born a fantastic item, Kubja. What is Kubja? In my eyes, Kubja is the oppressed woman. The oppressed woman who is standing on the threshold of the shop, the big sea of unhappiness, because she's all bent double, she's got a hump on her back, and she's bent double and she walks like this, and Kubja comes there. And then Kubja says that, "Oh Krishna," but she's heard that there is somebody called Krishna. There is somebody whose blessings, if he just touches you, if he just puts his hand on your head, salvation will be yours. What is this salvation? You, I, everybody. We have to conclude. We have to think within ourselves, what is this salvation? On the stage, what do I do? What did Sitakant Mahapatra write? And based on Sitakant Mahapatra's poem, what did Kavalam Narayana Panikar write? And she says that Katu Ninyunyan, Ghanasham Krishna, Katu Ninyunyan. Oh Krishna, oh Ghanasham Krishna, oh blue-bodied Krishna, I look for you. I look for you everywhere. In this Mathura Nagari, on this Rajapatha, I look for you, Krishna. Will you not come and embrace me? Now this is the hankering of the Bhakta. And then at the end she says that I have no husband, Krishna. I have no husband. I am only a serving wench. And that is where all the unhappinesses, all the sorrows that are hers, and I equated it with Kavalam's permission. I equated it with the sorrows of the woman. Women in our country have suffered. They have been oppressed. They have been crushed. The sorrows which are there within a woman's soul. The woman, a woman. Don't go to the woman. No particularization. A woman, every woman. And this is the woman's cry. That, "Oh Krishna, will you not come? Bless me. Remove me from this anguish of this hump on my back. And bless me, please, Krishna. Will you not give me mukti?" And what happens? Krishna comes. Krishna comes and she just looks at Krishna. She can't believe. And then Krishna blesses her. And he just puts his hand on her back and her hump disappears. How did I interpret this hump? I interpreted it that this hump is the hump of millennia of oppression that the woman in our society has been suffering from. Those millennia and that hump of oppression has made her bent double. She's bent double, but she looks for Krishna everywhere. And Krishna comes and blesses her, her hump goes away. And she says, Kavalam's words are there, Anandamayi Jnana. I am full of that great Ananda. Hey Anadi, Ghanasham Krishna. Oh Krishna, you have no beginning, no end. You are the greatest. Now here, in this particular item, I poured my soul. What did I do then? With what embellishment? With what encouragement? With what desire did I go forth? These beautiful poets, they said, "Take Kanak. What do you want to take? Take. We are very happy that you are dancing your poems." All right, I am dancing your poems. But I would like to now say here that I may be picking up poems from great poets. I take Ashtapadis. I am taking that which was written so many years, so many hundreds of years ago. I take these, I evaluate what these items are, and then I try to see where that fits in. Because I was told, and my guru kept on telling me, tum mat bano. I want to ask everyone who is interested in this art, what did Guruji mean? Tum mat bano. So when I come on the stage, I am not Kanak. I am not Kanak. Hey, tum Kanakam nahi hai. He used to call me Kanakam. Tum Kanakam nahi hai. Tum wo hai. Who was that? Who is that wo? Anybody. So I go into the character, that particular character which I am enacting. I go to that character, but then what happens to me? I have to forget myself. I have to forget my daily travails. I have to forget what are the pulls and pushes of my humdrum life here in Mumbai. What are the pulls and pushes? I have to cleanse myself of all that. I have to transport myself at that world, that level, that beautiful level which is peopled, which is where you find these characters, Kubja, Gandhari, Draupadi. You find these characters. I have never seen Draupadi. I said, Guruji, मैंने तो द्रौपदी को नहीं देखा है. कैसे करेंगे? अरे तुमको क्या देखने की जरूरत है? ये द्रौपदी को नहीं देखो. इधर द्रौपदी है ना. इधर तो है. उसका दुखम सोचो. उसका दुखम ले लो. और उसका दुखम फिर तुम करो. I realized that what he was trying to tell me is that you transport, first of all, you have to cleanse yourself of your this existence. I go into the world of imagination and I fly. There is nothing to stop me from flying. And then I think, what must have happened to Kubja, to Gandhari, to Draupadi? What happened to them? Their stories were there in front of you. You pick up these stories and you actually look at the stories from every possible angle. This angle, top, bottom, everywhere. Because there is one whole, one solid whole which comes in your hands. Now you people will say, Kanakji, we have talked at length about what you do and how you have to transform these characters. But that is what Indian dance is. The Indian dance is so deep, so great. I am quite aged, but from the age of say 7 years, I was 7 or 8 years. I was made to learn Kathakali. Now that was the greatest thing that my family did. And I used to learn Kathakali. My guru was a great Panchali Karunakar Panikkar. You see, in Kathakali, the women's roles are also enacted by men. And they are called Stri Veshamkar. He was a great Stri Veshamkar. And I learned from him, Karunakar Panikkar. And he told me, he always kept on telling me, I'm telling all of you who are listening to my talk and all of you who want to dance, I bless all of you. But listen to what my Guruji said. Kanakam, tum mat bano. It was much later when I grew up a lot. I studied a lot and I understood well within me. Come on, I am here in this ambience. I am XYZ's wife. I am Mrs. Jatin Dele. I am XYZ's mother. I am Rahul's mother. And I stay here in Mumbai. I stay here, but I have to fly absolutely unfettered in the sky. Where do I go? I go in the realm of imagination. And in this imagination, these characters become very real for me. They are so real, so real. Their anguish transforms to me. It comes to me, and every part of my body is absolutely anguished. When I do these characters, the anguish is real. But have I experienced anything of that? No, I have not experienced it at all. I have lived in private, a very comfortable, very well protected, very happy life. But what happened to Kubja? What happened to Draupadi, Gandhari? All these people, all these women, their souls were torn apart with sorrow, with disappointments, and getting crushed. And even then, I have always said that the Indian woman rises above everything. She rises above everything. She forgives, she forgets, and blesses the world. This is what I felt, and this is what I wanted to interpret in terms of my own dancing on the stage, so that I have all these items. Not to say that I don't know anything, any of the old traditional items. I also know the padams, Swati Tirunala padams. And there is a beautiful padam which I actually discovered with somebody in Kerala many years ago, 45 years, 45, 47, 48 years ago. And that song, nobody used to dance. This very old gentleman came to me And he said, I've got one very good, beautiful song by Swati Tirunal. Amma, would you like to dance it? He said, I would love to dance it. Please tell me. And that's a beautiful song which now all my students dance. And that is Punten Nerhure, Sakhi Nyan Viraham. Oh my Sakhi, you whose voice is so soft, so beautiful, Punten, and actually it drips with all the art, all the essence. Punten Nerhure, like that dripping honey from the flowers. Her voice is as sweet as that. So, Punten Nerhure, Sakhi Nyan Viraham. Oh Sakhi, please understand my viraham. And my anguish keeps on increasing. I thoroughly enjoyed choreographing that also. But as against that, I have these other items of mine. I have done a lot of Ashtapadis. And then Kuru Yadunatan is something which I love and which I teach. And that is also where we set it to music and these beautiful, beautiful lyrics which are our Indian inheritance, which I pick up, I look at them from every possible angle. The entire experience of mine, going deep into, I dived into the big sea that is Indian dance and Indian aesthetics. I sort of, I dived and came up with beautiful, beautiful pearls. These pearls were the pearls of my realization, my knowledge, and my understanding of what is Indian aesthetics and what is the theory of dance and abhinaya for Indian dancers. In the next session, I'll take you deeper into the beautiful, beautiful existence of Bharata's Natya Shastra with its technicalities. Namaskar.
Ma'am, would you let us know when would the next session be, please? On Saturday?
Yes, yeah, we can do it on Saturday. Yes,
So we'll have the next session on Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yes.
We're opening it just for one question in case anyone has any questions to immediately punch in right now so that we can ask the question to ma'am right away,
Yes.
or else we will shut the session.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
Do I wait?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, just a minute.
Okay, I'll wait.
So everyone is basically just sending a lot of love to you, ma'am, from all over. And Gopika Narayan has written very inspiring, creates warmth to our hearts that our Guru is here to guide us and our path. Manisha Fagu Mungra has just written thank you. Gauri Borde has written thank you for the blessings, ma'am. There are n number of people who are wishing you well right now. Shilpa Kaur has written thank you, ma'am. We have around 76 people with us right now. Valerie has written thank you so much for your precious words. We have around 76 people. Radhika Nair writes from Doha. She's saying how she is still beautiful is what they're asking
Thank
you.
you.
Meera Mani has written pranam. Gloria Akrokim has written thank you. Rutika has written thank you so much, miss. Everyone is wishing you well and thanking you, ma'am, for this beautiful session today. So we will also resume with our session on Saturday as discussed at 6 p.m.
Can I give a small little suggestion?
Sure.
If all these ladies, all these girls, I mean, to me they are all girls. So if they really want to ask any question, could they send it to you?
Yes, they can send it.
And earlier, if you give me, say in the afternoon, if you give me these questions,
Yes.
I would be prepared to answer them.
Yes, yes.
Because
So
I want people to interact with me.
yes, so we will, as ma'am has rightly said, we're open for questions as mentioned. You can drop your questions in the comment box in today's video. So we will forward it to her for the next session and she will answer all your doubts in the next session. So thank you so much everyone. saying goodbye to 73 of them. Thank you so much, and see you all on Saturday at 6 p.m. Here is Nalanda Nrityakala Mahavidyalaya signing off.